that would be awesome to learn from that guy. And so then I just, had that in the back of my mind and immediately started looking for ways to connect with him. But we'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. Another one that I'd mentioned, and I've never personally done this, however, I have, there's some people that I'm mentoring or that are in my coaching groups that have also found other mentors this way through like business associations and things. I know there's SCORE, SCORE, which is, I can't remember what that stands for, but some kind of business association. And, there's lots of people who have agreed to, successful business people that have agreed to give them their time. You can go and ask them questions. Now, the caveat there is that while you might be able to find somebody who, is very experienced and intelligent when it comes to small business and things like that, it's actually very hard to find people that are well-versed in the internet business and marketing paradigms that we work in. In the kinds of business that we talk about and do here. So just keep that in mind, as they may not have experience or know those kinds of things, but that doesn't mean that you might not be able to find some value there. And then, of course, you can just do an online search. I mean, with social media today, just looking through forums, looking for blogs, looking on Twitter for who's popular and people talk to a lot on Twitter, looking on Facebook and places like that to identify, some of these A-listers, so to speak, within your industry, people that you could learn from. And really, actually, I shouldn't say A-lister because, and this is something we were talking last night with our Platinum group about how a lot of industries are kind of like the Hollywood thing, split up into A-list, B-list, C-list, D-list, so to speak. And, there's just kind of different levels of experience and notoriety and things like that. And you don't necessarily need to jump straight to the top and have an A-lister mentor. You could, if you're just getting started and, for lack of a better term, you're on the D-list, the bottom of the totem pole, just getting going. Even a C-lister could help you rise to the next notch. So keep that in mind too. But an online search can help you find some of those people. So there's a few ideas of where you can start looking for a potential mentor. And so you want to start doing that and identify a handful of people that you think would fit the bill well for you. And then that's when you want to start proceeding to figuring out how you might be able to connect with that person. And that brings us to our next point.
Yeah, the next point is to pay attention and be present. So part of this would be to follow them online if possible. And nowadays, it's getting to the point where I see ads in the newspaper and all over the place where they actually give their Twitter ID now in their ad. So, getting connected to people through the internet now, even if it's obviously not internet business or that kind of thing, whatever your niche is much, much easier. And then once you find them online, definitely pay attention to what they like and what they need, and comment on their tweets. I always hate saying tweet, but on their Twitter posts, comment to what they say. And it reminds me, you even with the Platinum group last night, we're talking about Jeff Walker and what happened with that. Go ahead and go with that.
Yeah. When I knew I wanted to mentor with Jeff Walker, immediately I was paying attention to his Twitter stream, and I'd been taking courses from him, and I through that had gotten to know a little bit about what he was all about. But it's definitely helpful to be able to. These days people talk in their Twitter stream about what they like and what they're excited about, what problems they're running into, and that's very valuable information. That's where you can watch for opportunities to deliver value to people. But that's how I found out. He was into mountain biking, or he was into playing and learning guitar. And this is all stuff that became valuable later when, I had the opportunity to chat with him or when I wanted to send something to him to get his attention, for instance. So you definitely use those resources. It may sound kind of stalkerish and you definitely don't want to cross that line, but there's a lot of very valuable information by watching people's social media streams that they put out there. And so that's one of the key ways to use these tools. But then the other way is, like Sterling was saying, is just to be present, meaning start showing up in their comments in their Twitter streams, so they start recognizing your name, so that when you do connect with them, they're like, oh yeah, you're that person who's always commenting on my blog. You're that person who's always tweeting to me. And we definitely have those people in Internet Business Mastery who interact with us a lot on Twitter, or who comment a lot, or send us email and who participate on our Academy forums. And those people definitely stick out in our minds. And we're going to be a lot more likely to open or pay attention to an email if we recognize their name, because we're like, oh yeah, that person's always, saying cool stuff on our site. So, these are important things to be thinking about.
Yeah. And I the other thing I would say about this is, definitely look for the opportunity to deliver value to your possible mentor. I know that, people that help me through Twitter. And this happens quite often. I'll ask a question and a bunch of people will answer. And then there are even times when, and the example of that is just recently I even said, hey, what's your favorite mattress? My mattress, it's about done. And I had just a whole bunch of people say the same mattress. And I actually went out and bought the mattress that everybody said they loved. Even as much as that, like anytime somebody asks a question, answering them. And also even finding times when they haven't asked but deliver value as well. Like sometimes people will say to me, hey, have you seen this? And it'll relate to some sort of issue I had a week before. And it looked to me like they went out and tried to find a solution for me. I really love to see that, and definitely would love to do that with, mentors that I would want. I can't even believe I just realized that back when I was really searching hard for mentors several years back, maybe 3 or 4 years back, Twitter didn't exist. Facebook wasn't like it is now. I couldn't do all this then. I couldn't find out if they liked bluegrass music or whatever you saw Jeff wanting, you know what I mean? Like there's things like that didn't exist. And it's just so awesome now that we can see that. And I definitely share likes and interests, pretty lightly, but I do share all that on Twitter and Facebook. So, people with the keen eye could see that, and most people do. So definitely, that's part of paying attention and being present. And also make sure to comment on their blog and comment and even retweet stuff on Twitter and Facebook that they're talking about. I notice that all the time when people actually retweet what I say or comment on what I say. It's funny because I've noticed that there's maybe a group of 10 or 15 people that comment on just about anything I say, and I get to know who those people are. And, just consider that that's how people that are using those mediums, they're noticing the people that constantly comment and, again, add value.
And case in point, let's take this episode right here. I mentioned one of our listeners, Maren Kate, who's also an Academy member. And when she joined the Academy, she immediately started standing out because she just started putting the stuff into action. She was posting on the forum. She was sharing stuff that she was up to. She was on Twitter and very active. And this stuff just kept popping up on my radar. And, so here she is. Obviously, when she asks a question on Twitter, I take notice of it. I'm like, well, hey, let's do an episode about that. And, we'd love to do that as much for any of our listeners, but definitely somebody who has been in our forums and delivering value to our forums is going to rise up and above, and we're going to be that much more inclined to go, well, cool. Let's see what we can do to maybe help out in that area.
Well, one of the other things that I was going to say that I do as well, if somebody really delivers value for me or comments in a way that I want to see what they're up to, I actually on TweetDeck add them into my follow group. Now, the people that I'm actually following, it's a small group because I don't want too many that I can't read everything that's being said. But, then they become part of the people that I'm actually watching the follow. And that, again, that would be very important. And I consider that anytime I'm trying to, get in with somebody or, add value to their lives and business.
Yeah, this deliver value first it's a big thing because I know we all get, we get anxious to find that right mentor and it's easy to, I've been there when I was starting out. It's easy to start assuming it's like, oh, they're just gonna, altruistically out of goodness of their heart want to help me out. And, we're so anxious to rise to that next level, get the help that we can, or maybe helps have somebody shortcut the process for us that we're so focused on what's in it for me. I need a mentor. This is what I need. And we completely forget it's like, look, you got to show them what's in it for them first. And not that, people who have risen to that level are selfish people. It's just that we all have only so much time and energy. And, for instance, with all the business and marketing knowledge that we love to apply and help people with, both Sterling and I, we have people that we help out for free with their projects that they're doing or with their maybe some hobby or something that they're promoting online. And we're happy to do that because these are our friends or our family. But, I've probably in fact, I was just chatting with somebody yesterday who wanted my help. I said, I'd love to help, but I've got like 5 people I'm helping right now pro bono. And these are all, family and friends and, people here in the city and a nonprofit here that I'm helping out. And it's like, my time is strapped. So then when somebody approaches me and say, hey, will you be my mentor? We get those emails all the time. It's like, hey, I just want to pick your brain or take you to lunch. It's like,